So the next question asks us to create a query. So it says Brogan wants a list of parties that are booked for 2024, have more than 50 guests, have paid a deposit. Create a query on the party table to produce this list. So just being able to create that query will give you 2 marks. So I'm on the party table, I'm going to go to create, and it's query design. I'm going to double click on my party table, and I'm just going to increase the size of this so I can see everything. Now, at this stage, it hasn't told me what fields I need or anything like that, so I can just work away and double click on each of the fields. Got entertainment in there as well, so I'll just change that one to venue decoration, and then we've got deposit paid. Now, this is the important thing, it's about the criteria that I put through. So first of all, it's booked for 2024. So you can go under party date, and under party date is where we're going to use our wildcard. So we're going to put it in speech mark. Now it's really important to note here that the date format is with hyphens in the party table. So if I just double click here, we can see it's hyphens. That's really important. So as I'm going to put the criteria in, I'm going to put my speech marks. I'm going to use the asterisk sign because it's any day. Oh, and see, by default, I went to do the slash. In the party table, it's hyphens. And then again, any month, hyphen 2024. And then I can close my speech marks. And as I move on to the next category, it adds in the like. You can type the like in yourself. It does add it in. The next criteria is for more than 50 guests. So I'm going to type in more than 50. And the last criteria is that they've paid a deposit. Again, going into this table, we can see deposit paid is based on a figure that they type in. So if they paid a deposit, it would have to be anything more than 0. So again, use my more than sign and 0. This, with the screenshot in design view, would get you the 2 marks for the query. Then to get a further 3 marks, they're asking us to do some more formatting. So before we do anything there, I'm just going to go to query design and run my query to make sure it works. I can also just make sure I save it as well. So I might just call this 2024. So I'm going to just press OK. And then I can go back into design view to do the changes that they've asked me to. So they have asked me for the correct fields only. So they've only asked for party type, party date, customer ID, and number of guests. So I don't need the party ID. I do need customer ID. I do need the party date. I do need the party type, and I need the number of guests. Everything else they haven't asked for. And then also they want the fields in the correct order. So they want party type followed by party date, customer ID, and number of guests. In order to just move it around in the right way, I can just move these columns, just highlight it. Oh. And then be able to click and shift it around there. So party type should be first. They want party date next. So I'm going to shift that around. They want customer ID and then the number of guests. So that's the correct order. And then they want the number of guests in descending order. So I can go under the sort section here and they want it in descending order. So that's given me those 3 marks there. So again, I can just run that to make sure it's done and I give them the correct screenshots.